So we're discussing how to avoid being in a trap, right? Being impatient, you're busy trying to pursue your dreams, you're pursuing your passions, you're trying all things, and it feels like, hey, I feel like I'm stuck here. I feel like things aren't moving. I feel like I'm impatient right now. So we're going to discuss 3 things that you can do in order to avoid being trapped. And the first step is to acknowledge that you're feeling impatient. They say in transformation, the first step is awareness. So right now, when you are aware that you are feeling impatient, I would say the first thing to do is to acknowledge it. Write it down in your journal. Write it down and say, right now I'm feeling impatient, I'm feeling stuck, I'm feeling like things are moving. If that's how you feel, just pour out your emotions. Note it down and say, this is how I truly feel. Because you are letting yourself to be honest with yourself and how you are feeling at that particular point in time. So note it down and write it down. But we don't stop there. We have to move towards step 2. And on step 2, this is where I say you have to understand what the law of polarity is. And that's step 2. Polarity in this third dimensional realm says that energy exists in opposite spectrum. What we mean by that, we mean there is hot and there is cold, but it's the same energy, just at different vibrations, right? There is darkness, there is light, same energy at different vibration. There is abundance, there is lack, same energy at different vibrational poles. There is faith and there is doubt, same energy, different vibrational poles, if I can put it there. So when you are impatient, it is just showing you that that is the same energy that you have as, say, your desire, which is maybe clarity, maybe success, maybe flow. If I could put those as the opposite pole towards impatience. So if you are impatient, it's the same energy as what you are desiring at the time. So which could be clarity, which could be flow, which could be things moving, which could be achieving, which could be success. We can call it different names, the opposite pole that you are desiring. But at this particular point in time, you are on the opposite spectrum, which is impatience, frustration, feeling stuck. So when you understand that the law of polarity is saying that is the same energy as the dream that you have. So you are impatient right now, you can be stuck there. Hence it's like we're trying to help you not to be stuck, right? So it's the same energy as the dream, as the vision, as being in the flow, as achieving. So when you understand that it's the same energy, the only difference is the rate of vibration. The rate of vibration. Do you understand? The rate of vibration. So then the question is, how do you move from stuck to flow? How do you move from confusion to clarity? How do you move from things aren't moving to things are moving? How do you move from I'm not achieving to yes, I'm achieving? So how do you move if it's the same energy to the other pole? And the answer to that is it's all dependent on your concentration. What are you focused on? Because what you are focused on and you are concentrating on, that is what you are able to achieve. So the fact that right now you are feeling stuck, it means you are focusing on the stuck element of your dream. These things in metaphysics. So all that means, what you must do is move your focus and concentration towards the other end of the pole. And that's work. That is the real work, in fact. And I feel that is the work that a lot of people shy away from, because that is serious work. It is saying, take your focus away from things aren't moving and focus on the things that are moving. Do you understand? Take your focus away from things that are stuck and focus on the things that are already not being stuck, that are already showing signs of progress. Take your focus away from confusion and focus on clarity. So how do you do that? How do you change your vibration or your focus away from, because it's the same as take your focus away from lack and focus on the abundance. How do you do that? That's where visualization comes in. You need to visualize the state of your dream being achieved, right? You need to find, list the aspects which are already working. Make a list of the things that are already working in the dream. Do you understand? This is already working, this is already working, this is already. Have that list, look at it every day, so that you're changing your mindset to see that things are already moving. You are not stuck. You are visualizing your desired state. You are not stuck. Do you understand? You are meditating, clearing your mind, tapping into God, and seeing yourself already achieving the dream, already living the dream, in fact. That is how, and that is serious work that a lot of people shy away from. And I'm telling you this because I want you not to shy away from the work that you have to do, because it is all about changing your awareness, changing your state, so that you are focused on achieving, of being the person who's already achieving the things that you want to achieve, right? Because you have to become that person in order for the things then to materialize in your life. And that is serious work. That is serious work. Journaling, meditating every morning, and then writing down all the things that you're already grateful for, that are already happening, because they are there. They are there. And so the fact that you haven't identified them yet, it's because you are still focused on the negative end of the pole. You need to shift your focus away and its work towards the positive other end of the pole. And that is how you move yourself from being stuck, because the minute you see something as lacking and as it's not there, or things are not moving, you're stuck in that perception. And if you remain in that perception, you keep creating that situation of being stuck, of things not moving. But if you want to move away from that, you have to stop that focus from there. Shift your intention towards the opposite pole. Find aspects, visualize, see yourself as already achieving. Thank God that you're already walking in that victory, walking in that things that you already want to materialize. And that is the serious work. And be committed to doing that work, to ignoring the other end, but focus on the other end. It's like if you want to walk in abundance, you have to ignore lack. You can't be focusing on the lack and then want abundance. It doesn't work like that. You have to shift your awareness and focus and attention towards where you want to be, until that state is fully the state that you operate in, right? It's fully the state of your consciousness, your state of awareness, and your state of being, because that's how it's like you are taking that being. And when you are there, the third step, you need to reinforce that state, and then you take action, aligned action, because now your state of consciousness, your state of awareness is now not on the impatient side, but it's now on the opposite end of being the person who's achieving, of being the person who's in the flow, of being the person who's materializing their dreams, of being the person who's doing everything which is what you want to do, right? Now you've embodied that person, and therefore the intuition that you're going to have is now going to be the intuition of the person who's in the flow, who's achieving, who's materializing things that they want. And the action now that you must take, because you must now take action, would be in line with the person who's achieving, who's in the flow, who's getting things done. And you must take action. And that is how you are able to get yourself unstuck. You get yourself unstuck, you get yourself away from impatience to dream achieved, to